Pig's out again. Let's go and figure out what's wrong with the electric fence. Here's my two cutie pies. So this one is Snezhok, this one's Cesar. Snezhok is a Commodore mixed with a Hungarian Shepherd. I forgot, but he's pretty much my herd livestock guardian, and he does a great job at letting me know if anyone's come to the property, if there's something wrong. If pig isn't supposed to be where it's at. Love him so much. And they got a little jacuzzi and hut for them. So yeah, good boys. She is not supposed to be on the road, and neither are those barrels. I hate her so much. So here's the corner of my, that wire looks loose over there. Yeah, I'll go around and check what's going on, but here's my electric tester. You just get the ground probe, put it in there. You can get these for like 15 bucks on Amazon. And nada. So something's wrong with this. Let's go and figure it out. This is what I use as my emergency test or emergency fence kit. I just have a bunch of PVC pipes, spare wires, pliers, and a tester. Here's my electric fence. I just have an extension cord running all the way over to my house, which is connected to the solar panels. And here I have just two ground rods. I like to set them up near the water sprinklers because it keeps the water. That is way too much water. I need to fix that. That is a little like I need to, yeah. So I like to put the ground rods near the water because if the ground is too dry, the ground doesn't go electrify is great. I don't know how to describe it, but I already see a bunch of cable there. That's too low to the ground. I'll do my best, clear everything out, and then start testing section by section. And I've never really have issues with my pigs getting out. That white one is the only one I have an issue with. I got her from my neighbors, which they got her. Also, they only had her for a couple weeks, so she's very not tamed. She's very rude pig. And you'll see as you farm pigs that animals have personalities. Animals have different characters, and that one is very very annoying. So yeah. If you have the right pigs, you won't have that issue really. And again, the most important thing is to train them from when they're young. So here's that bastard right there that keeps getting out. I'll lift this fence up and clear it out. See, obviously I disconnected the electric fence first, so I don't get shocked. But yeah, let's get this fence fixed. So here's pretty much a couple things. Firstly, this is one of my very first ones that I did, and I used these non-galvanized ones, the rusty ones, and they're, they, as you see this one, we had to completely replace the ones that actually touch the electric fence, because I guess, the electricity in the rain, it literally rusts, what's it called? Electrolyzes, just the metal, and it completely destroys it really quickly. So even then we have so I replaced them with this. I forgot what gauge wire this is. It's typically what they use for construction rebar. But I started using thicker wire on my new fence setups. Actually, as you see right here, I had to replace this one with the thicker wire, and you could buy a huge roll of it for like 60, $80, and it'll last you forever. Oh yeah, so that's a couple things that I suggest is to use galvanized and use a much thicker wire, because it'll because the issue with these ones, they'll actually loosen up, and that's why they fall. And you have to tighten them, and even if you tighten them, they break, really easily. But the larger ones, they stay rigid, and they don't they don't break. But yeah, another thing, you when I go around checking, to make sure, you see this one, for example, I had to bend it and actually wrap it around this wire, because it was actually touching the rebar, and that was acting as a ground rod, so it was shorting. But yeah, I'm gonna keep going around and see what else I find. Here's one of my corner posts, and this ground rod is kind of loose, and also I don't like how close it is to the fence, so I'm gonna get my impact drill, screw in a new one, and put a separator right there. On a lot of these, I forgot to drill the hole, so all I do for that is I get a screw. Typically I like to do it just on a drill press, but there we go. I got ourselves the hole. This is the heavier gauge wire that I was talking about earlier, which I highly suggest getting instead of the typical ones they use for construction stuff. I gotta put in a second screw, which should be good. There we go. Solid. So here, since we have it loose, all we gotta do is tighten it up. I just like to crimp it like this and bend it like a Z. I think you just leave it like this and it'll be fine, but tighten it just a little more. Yeah, there we go. It's off the ground, and the fence, it looks alright. I'm a little too late to put a PVC pipe, just bend it back forward, and it should stay there for another year or two. Here's stuff that can also cause a lot of problems with ground is anything that's touching this metal fence and this, because this acts as a ground also, since so much of it is, you know, near the ground. So here, I'll give you a better example of the issue. Like right here, you see pieces of roots and stuff that they root up that kind of shorts. Here's a really better example. See this? Branches and stuff. And just pull it on the side and that'll be good. Alright, I think I got most of the electric fence fixed. Let me connect this back and see how it is. Hear it clicking. Easy to sparks. Oops. Make sure not to touch these cables. So what we do is get this, put this in the ground, get the tester, and touch it. I don't know if you see it. Can you see it? No, you can't. But it is going up to 6,000. So let's check the other side. It's only for a very brief moment, so I don't think the camera's gonna catch it for you. But for me, I am getting. There's still a short somewhere on this side, I think, because this side is only getting nada. It's like 1 or 2. So yeah, no, this is something wrong here. Something over there being shorted. So alrighty, gotta test this side now. There's also a problem that's obviously an issue. So it was bent like this, and this was touching a rebar. I'm just gonna tighten it down, and hopefully it doesn't get loosened up again. There we go. And this one also a little bit. Easier with one hand. Again, I while walking around, I carry one of these, the thicker ones, if I need to cut that off and replace it. Now let's go around and double check the whole perimeter. Alright, so I checked all that area. It's fine. But here, there's a bunch. I have no clue what exactly happened, but it loosened up. And what I suggest highly, I wasn't the one who installed this, but what I highly suggest is whenever you do, so you see how it's almost, it'll never be an exact straight line. I always suggest you actually do go on a zigzag, and when you do in a zigzag, you put these on the inside of that curve, right? So if it's gonna curve like this, you put that there so that, you know, because otherwise when the tension, it's gonna, you know, push one way or another like it is right now. In this case, I think, yeah, since that one's like this, I can just bring this up and put it over there somewhere. Here's a perfect example of why whenever it's a curve like this, you want to put this on the inside of the curve, because, well, it just bends over and it, you know, as you see right here, is touching. So yeah, this one is pretty solid in the ground. Or not. Here, let me move it over. Alright, so we got left is to tighten up the top part, and yeah, that should be good, and fix that over there. So I showed you earlier about how with the metal wire you could just you know, crimp it, and that with this poly wire you can't really do that. So all I do is literally grab a stick off the ground, wrap it around like this, and just start spinning it. You know, grab it a couple more times and tighten it up really good. And then we get a piece of metal wire. Tighten up some more. and just wrap it around. And I've had this, like, I know this looks weird, but I've literally had this last for years, so pretty good way of tightening up the poly wire without something complicated. I'll tighten up this one too while I'm at it. Again, just a round piece stick off the ground, wrap it around, and just start twisting it. Attempt number 2. There we go. It's clicking. See how ground is on here. Oops. We are getting 6,000. Okay. And over here, I still hear clicking. Over here, we are getting hard because of the sun. I don't understand. Why are you clicking? Barely see 3,000, but I mean, that's supposed to be like that. Alright. Alright, here's the front. Put my ground probe and test this. See right here, we're getting 6,000. Okay, so here's fine. So here's my connection joint where I do the gate. Check here. Here we're getting 3,000. Okay, so there's an issue here somewhere. Let's double check. Here we're getting. Also, we're getting. What the hell is going on? 3,000. 3,000. Okay. Could be also just a ground issue. Because it's so dry here. Probably just a ground issue. But I am hearing clicking. Right here somewhere. So I'm tighten it up over here, get it a better connection, and see again, you can actually see the brown. I'll try not to touch that, but you can see the brown on the cable from it actually burning a little. So yeah, I'm gonna turn off the electric fence and test this. So I've reconnected the electric fence. I'm gonna be on this side because the soil here is a little wetter and there's a lot more rocks over there. But yeah, this is actually 7,000. I found there was another ground, another wire that was touching the ground right there. 7,000 right there, and please be 7,000. 7,000 right here. 7,000. Okay, good. We got it. We got a connection. Yeah, all I did pretty much, so I kind of messed up last night. I was lazy. All I did was tie a knot on this and just like loop the middle wire around once and called it a day. What you should do instead is wrap it around and have a little piece of extra wire, as you see right here, that I looped around this a couple times, as much as you can, and then crimped it with a channel, some pliers. You know, so like this right here is a pretty good example. I'm not going to touch this. You see right here where I was getting burnt because I was just doing that one connection. What you should do is, so you loop that around, then you loop this back around multiple times and you crimp it, and I'll, you know, give it a tight connection. But yeah, so that's a mistake I did. All I can really do is go over here and check the cave. Check the fence. And over here is good. Alrighty. I think that's it. That was the fix, is, you know, that little one right there. And yeah, I'm gonna double check all the way over there in the corner. And yeah. Alright, so I'm at the corner, which is pretty much the furthest point from the electric fence. And we got 3,000 right here. So, oh well, I mean, it's working at least. These pigs don't really get out. I don't want to waste more time on this.